Hey Embers, welcome back to the channel. Well, we're nearly at the end of the year, so here's where we talk about my favourite video games of the year. These games don't have to have been released this year, I just have to have played them for the first time this year. So some of the games I'm going to be talking about were released in 2025, some of them were not, but it was the first time I personally played them this year, so that's why I'm including them. Now, you will have heard, of course, about all of these in wrap-ups, and spoiler alert, one or two of them may have actually been a playthrough here on this channel. But I have narrowed it down to 7 video games this year. They're in no particular order apart from the last one. I am going to save my best till last. And let me tell you, I'm expecting this video to be quite divisive. I think a lot of you are going to disagree with me in the comments. But it's my list. Let's get going. So the first game I'm going to talk about, unfortunately, I don't have a physical copy for, and that is The Forgotten City. Now, I did do a video on The Forgotten City here on this channel. I am a food historian, so I reviewed the food in The Forgotten City to see how historically accurate it was. And let me tell you, while The Forgotten City wasn't my favourite game of the year, it was the most surprising for me with how much I absolutely fell in love with it. Really, really did. So The Forgotten City is a game set in ancient Rome. Technically, I'm not going to get into that too much because you'll know if you know. And it started as a Skyrim mod. Now, I'm a huge Elder Scrolls fan. I'm a huge Skyrim fan, as you guys know. I am not a modder, so I never actually played the mod. I tend to play most of my games on console, and so I missed out on this mod. But the mod eventually released into a full game, The Forgotten City, and they did have to, of course, change a lot of things to make it its own game, but I absolutely fell in love with it. I think it was quote-unquote free. Of course, it's not free on PlayStation Premium, and I decided to pick it up in January or February of this year. And I love history, I love historical video games, so I thought I was going to like it. I wasn't prepared for how much I was going to fall in love with it. I think it's a genuinely beautiful game with a very moving story, and I would love to see more from these developers. I really, really would. Now, The Forgotten City is, of course, a difficult one to talk about if you haven't played it. If you have played it, you understand why it's a difficult one to talk about, so I'm not going to say too much more. But I am genuinely debating doing a playthrough of The Forgotten City next year because I love it that much. So if that's something you'd be interested in, then please let me know. I think it would make a great playthrough. I think I'm a little bit late to the game. I can't remember when The Forgotten City came out. It certainly wasn't this year. But you know, I don't really care. I don't care if I'm a bit late. I don't care if nobody watches it. If it's a playthrough I want to do, I'm going to do it. So I do think I will end up doing a Forgotten City playthrough. So coming up next is another one I unfortunately don't have a physical copy for, and another one that really, really did surprise me. It's Killer Frequency. So again, I don't think Killer Frequency came out this year, but this year was the first time I played it. And once again, I got it quote unquote for free on Premium. Of course you pay for Premium, so it's not free, but you know, if it's a £60 game and it comes on Premium, I'm classing it as free. Now, shameless plug, we did do a playthrough of Killer Frequency here on this channel. The royal we. I did a playthrough of Killer Frequency here on this channel. And it is not like any other game I've played before, but I absolutely loved it. I mean, of course I loved it. It's in my favourite games of the year. So you play as a radio host, radio DJ named Forrest Nash, and there is a killer on the loose. It's all in first person, and the aim of the game is to catch the killer and make sure that they don't kill anybody else, try and save people, all in the relative comfort of a DJ booth. Now, I am severely underselling that because I am terrible at describing what games are, but I didn't think that, again, much like The Forgotten City, that I was going to love it as much as I did, and I absolutely loved it. I had a blast doing that playthrough. It probably wasn't one of the best playthroughs on my channel, to be honest, and it didn't get much traction. I don't think many of my videos do, though, to be honest, but I loved it. I loved playing it. Now, what I will say, because again, I got both of these on Premium, if The Forgotten City and Killer Frequency are still on Premium, and you do happen to have PlayStation Premium, I would highly, highly encourage you to give them a go. You may just be surprised. So let's go for one that most of you are now going to turn the video off at. You're going to go mad. I do have a physical copy. Just calm yourself. Right, it is Dragon Age The Veilguard. This came out in 2024, I believe, not 2025, but I played it for the first time in 2025. Now, this game was not positively received by many Dragon Age fans, and I completely understand why. We've spoken about this in wrap-ups before. I get it. I get why it's not well received. However, if I take this as a standalone game, I would be lying if I said I didn't enjoy my time with it. I did. I did really enjoy this game. There were a few characters that I really, really liked. In fact, I thought the character roster was fairly strong. I know people have their issues with the dialogue and everything else, that it's quite stilted, that it's quote unquote woke. I do understand the criticism. However, I thought that the characters were quite well written, personally, so I think I'm definitely in the minority. And overall, I really did like Dragon Age the Veilguard. Now, I'm going to preface this by saying I have only played Dragon Age Origins, so bear that in mind. I haven't played Dragon Age 2, and I haven't played Dragon Age Inquisition. It is on my list, I promise. So I think my opinion may change if I play the other Dragon Age games. That is a very strong possibility, but taking this game as a standalone for what it is, I did enjoy it. I actually did 2 playthroughs of it, one to experience the game and play it, and one to platinum it. And I did enjoy my time with it both times. The combat leaves a lot to be desired, it does. But again, taking it as a standalone game, I don't think it was that bad. I quite enjoyed it. And you know what? I'm not going to apologise for it. So next up, we've got another slightly controversial one. I'm very controversial today, aren't I? Oblivion Remastered. Now that did come out this year. So Oblivion Remastered is actually the first game on this list that actually came out in 2025. And unfortunately, once again, I don't have a physical copy of it, but I am aiming to get one very, very soon. Now, there's a reason it's controversial on my list in particular. I haven't actually played through the entirety of the game, so how can it be my favourite video game of the year, or one of my favourite video games of the year? Well, I love Oblivion, it's as simple as that. I'm a huge Elder Scrolls fan, and Oblivion is my favourite game. I've played bits and bobs of the remaster, but to be totally honest, I haven't had time. However, I have been watching people's playthroughs of it, so I feel like I can include it on this list. I think graphically it looks beautiful. There are some glitches that they should have sorted out, the arena glitch being the biggest one. There are things that they should have sorted out, yes. But overall, I have a feeling that playing through the game a little bit more, I am still going to love it. Is the original Oblivion still going to be my favourite? Yes, because I love the charm and the jank of it even. I do love. And I didn't really want that replacing. But that being said, I think the remaster does deserve a place on this list. You might disagree, considering I've not played all the way through. Perhaps it is a little bit of a cheat, perhaps it is. However, I just couldn't make this list without including Oblivion Remastered. So next we move to one that, being totally honest, I'm not sure if it came out this year or not, but again, I did play it this year. Again, quote-unquote free on Premium, Arcade Paradise. That was another one that surprised me. So Arcade Paradise was a mistake for me. I downloaded it thinking it was a couch co-op I could play with my husband. And while you can play some of the arcade games as 2-player, the actual game itself is not a couch co-op, it's a single player. So when I started playing it, I was very, very disappointed because I wanted a couch co-op experience. That is what it was listed as. And in my opinion, it shouldn't be listed in couch co-op if only a couple of games on the arcades can be played as 2-player. However, that aside, the more I got into it, the more I really, really enjoyed it. And me and my husband set up a routine where I would play all of one day and he would play all of the next day, and so on and so forth. We'd pass the controller back to each other. So we made it a couch co-op experience, even though it technically wasn't. Now, Arcade Paradise, you start the game running your father's laundromat. Eventually, it may turn into the arcade of your dreams, or it may not. So we did successfully platinum that game, and I had a blast with it. It's not my usual type of game. As you guys know, I am predominantly an RPG player, and yet there are very few RPGs on this list this year. So we're on to our second to last game now, and it is Pokemon Legends ZA. I'm going to annoy some more people. I do, of course, have a physical copy for the Nintendo Switch, and I'm not going to go too much into this. I am a huge Pokemon fan, but admittedly, it is not really my place to say whether this is an amazing game or not, and I'll tell you why. As I've said many, many times, this is actually my first Pokemon game on the Switch. And so my opinion may change if I play another Pokemon game, Pokemon Legends Arceus, for example, but I haven't played any on the Switch at all. So admittedly, my opinion of this game may change if I play another Pokemon game. That being said, I did really enjoy my time with Pokemon Legends ZA. At time of recording, I have not played the DLC. By the time you're watching this, I may have done, so that may influence my opinion, but at time of recording this video, I have not played the DLC. Obviously, I'm pre-recording a little bit because of the Christmas period. That being said, Of course, this game came out this year. This is the first year, obviously, I've been able to play it. And I did think it deserved a place on this list. I mean, I've got a shiny Baneri, so, I'm a very simple creature. That makes me happy. But I did quite like some of the new characters that were introduced in ZA. Corbo is my favourite. I am a huge Pokemon fan. This did what it said on the tin, quite frankly, and I liked it. So let's finally move on to my personal game of the year, a game that did come out this year, a game that I felt was robbed at the Game Awards, although to be fair, I hadn't played most of the games that were given awards at the Game Awards. And before I show you my favourite game of the year, I do want to quickly say that I haven't actually played that many new games this year. So to be honest, there you may be sat there thinking, well, this should have made the list and this should have made the list. I just haven't played them. Not for a lack of wanting to play them, I just haven't had time. It's been a crazy, crazy year. I've barely had any time to play video games. So the fact that I have 7 to show you is actually quite remarkable. That being said, let's get on to my favourite game of the year, and I don't think it's going to surprise anybody if you've been watching this channel for a long time. It's Split Fiction. I do have a copy of it. I thought this game was robbed. How this didn't win multiplayer this year at the Game Awards, don't ask me. Don't ask me. But I adore Split Fiction, and I'm very, very happy that I have a physical copy of it. So, of course, this is made by Hazelight, who made It Takes Two and A Way Out, and I can't wait for the next Hazelight game. I feel like this game just isn't being talked about. It didn't get as much hype as I thought it would. It Takes Two, of course, won Game of the Year when that came out, and I think Split Fiction is just as good. Would I say better? I would say just as good. So I don't understand why it was snubbed. I absolutely adored this game. And I really and truly don't understand why more people aren't talking about it. I really honestly don't. I thought it was phenomenal. So of course I played this game couch co-op with my husband. I think the only way you can play it yet is couch co-op. I think you can do online co-op as well, not just couch co-op. And you play as 2 characters, Mia and Zoe. So Mia is a sci-fi writer and Zoe is a fantasy writer. Something happens where they end up in their own fictional worlds, and they may end up in each other's fictional worlds. And it's such a beautiful, beautiful story. There's some amazing levels, some funny levels, the graphics, just everything. I cannot heap enough praise on this game. There was not a single thing I didn't like about it. I am going to probably play this game every single year till I die. I loved it. That means I've got to force my husband to do that as well, so maybe not. But I really did love it so, so much. I feel so passionately and strongly about it. This is a game that will never leave me. It really won't. There are those games that you play that just stick with you for the rest of your life. You know what I'm talking about. And it's going to be this game for me. I absolutely adored it. So I'm not going to go on too much longer, but this is my favourite game of the year, hands down. And I cannot wait for Hazelight's next production. I cannot sing their praises enough. I really, really can't. And there you have it. That is my favourite games of the year. I know that there's going to be some controversy. I know there's people that are going to be mad with me, but that is my list. I can't change it. I can't put a game on here I haven't played. So let me know in the comments box below what your favourite video game of the year is. Give me a top 3 if you want, or you can just give me a favourite. Let me know. I am very excited for next year in gaming. I'm not going to say too much, but I think it's going to be a good year. So thank you very much as always for watching, and until next time, bye, Embers.